What I started doing with Tough Mudder felt even more of me, pure, because I didn't have to entertain. I wasn't there. It wasn't about me. And that's where I went to. It wasn't about me. I was a part of something. So that's where the Mirror Man tag came from. Because people would always come to me and they'd say, "Oh, you're so inspiring," and da-da-da, and all that stuff. And I'm like, guys, it's not me. I know you feel that it's me. I'm just showing you. I'm the guy that's standing in the middle of you guys. I got my imaginary mirror showing you. And I've said this to them. What your family sees, what people that love you see, people that see you living like you do see, what you're not, what you feel, but you're not seeing. It's you.
Well, I want to dig into something a little bit deeper that I think is so incredibly important for anybody that's trying to get into this industry, or frankly, just about any industry. I think this applies, but very much so for creative and artistic people. And this is a blessing and a curse. And I think it's often more times a curse than a blessing if you don't know how to manage it. And it's the idea of what you do becoming your identity. And if you don't know who you are before the industry tells you who you're supposed to be, very dangerous ground, like you mentioned, right?
Yep.
Where for example, right now, like there have been a couple of people just through connections of connections that have asked, like, hey, your daughter, she'd be good for, doing like kids clothing, or maybe she can sing or whatever. And I'm just like, absolutely not. There's no way that I'm going to let her get sucked into an industry before she knows who she is as a person. And I remember right before I moved to Los Angeles, and I graduated from college, was born and raised in the Midwest. And I said, I am leaving this industry as soon as it changes who I am as a person. Success is not going to be defined by the credits or the money or the awards. And as soon as it becomes that way and Hollywood turns me into an asshole, I'm out. And there might be some people that are like, dude, you've always been an asshole. I don't know, maybe. But the point being that minus accolades or experience or wisdom from the last 20 years of my career, I feel like I'm pretty much who I was 20 years ago and who I am now. I don't think that they're drastically different people. But if I didn't have that level of confidence, there are multiple places throughout my career where I said no to something because of the confidence, where instead I probably would have said yes. That I would have been sucked into a world with people or projects that really would have changed who I was as a person. And I went down a couple of those roads, not knowing it was going to be that road. And I'm like, this is not what I want to be a part of. And ironically, it was the most successful peaks in my career where I'm like, nope, I'm out. This is not a group I want to be in. I don't want this to define me. And I've become a lot more selective. And I think that leads into the identity shift that you had from I'm a comedian or I'm an actor to I get the opportunity to flip and inspire people every single day. So I'm curious, beyond just, hey, this was another gig and it pays well and I get to travel all over, what part of your identity really fed your soul in doing this job versus I'm running around trying to make a bunch of money and get credits in Hollywood?
Okay, two things let me say on that. One, yes to what you said at first before you asked me that question, and you see that now. It helped me understand when you see a lot of artists become successful and then they disappear out of the business. And I get it now. They got the money, they don't have to deal with it anymore, and now they can do the art the way or go find themselves, even though they've got what we think is successful. Go find themselves in their art and do it the way they want to do it. Discover their souls again. So I get that now. So to anybody listening, when you see, like, you're always asking, hey, this person was at the peak of their fame and all that, and they just disappeared. It's like they might have been lost, even though, like you said, they had all the accolades and all that. They wasn't feeding their souls. So now they have the opportunity to go back and feed their souls. So I get that now. So with your question, I'm sorry, ask me that again. Your question.
So essentially what I'm trying to tap into is beyond just it being a gig and something you really enjoyed. What was it about being on that starting line where you're still holding a microphone just like you would be if you were on stage doing a set? And it's not so much acting, but it's still you putting yourself out there and you're the face of something. But why was that so much more nourishing your soul, even though I'm sure it paid way less and it's dirtier and it's grungier and it's not on television and you're not getting millions of viewers? But why was that just the obvious hell yes choice for you?
Everything that I've ever done in my life And I'm seeing everything, even professionally, working at the gas station, working at Bank of America, working at the Bay Meadows race, horse race place, anything that I've done. And even before, like when we were kids and we'd be playing, and then there were moments where everybody would be sitting around and I'm making up some story that I'm telling these kids, and we're all sitting around on the porch and I'm telling stories and incorporating them in the story. Everybody's digging it, having fun. It all clicked to me that in everything I've ever done, the thing I loved about it most was that connection to the people, was that feeling of a positive connection. So I was able to identify that and identify that feeling and say, okay, if I'm not getting this feeling out of what I'm doing in life right now, then I am off my flow. I am off the way that I think I should be going and what I'm doing in my life. So that was it. That was the click for me. And then, like I said, I started feeling it. The most I had felt that was doing stand-up. Stand-up's it's so fun. It's such a reward, even when it's bad. Even when people say that, oh my God, isn't it scary? Yeah, it's scary, but that's life, And what it does is it puts you in the moment, and life in the moment is pure. No good, no bad, no judgment whatsoever. You're in the moment, and you're just dealing with it, and it's stimulating. So even with stand-up, what I started doing with Tough Mudder felt even more of me, pure, because I didn't have to entertain. I wasn't there. It wasn't about me. That's where I went to. It wasn't about me. I was a part of something. So that's where the Mirror Man tag came from. Because people would always come to me and they'd say, oh, you're so inspiring and da-da-da, and all that stuff. And I'm like, guys, it's not me. I know you feel that it's me. I'm just showing you. I'm the guy that's standing in the middle of you guys. I got my imaginary mirror showing you. And I've said this to them. What your family sees, what people that love you see, people that see you living like you do see, what you feel, but you're not seeing. It's you. You're the ones out here doing this course. You're the ones out here doing something for charity, raising kids, going to work, trying to make this system that we all live in work. That's you see. And I'm just introducing you to you. I'm your mirror man. I'm not the inspiration here. You are. So that's what I loved.